Alright, there we go. Okay, I'm live streaming right now, right? Yo, dude, are you, watching? Hello? Hello? Are you watching the live stream? Huh? I already started. Really? I already started.
It still says you're black.
Okay, I'll probably restart page.
I am.
I call it Minecraft Xbox One.
Then go to username.
Does it say I'm live?
No.
Hold up. Yeah, it says I'm live right now.
No.
Wait, let me go on my computer. Right?
Okay. So. Yeah. I don't know why it hasn't saved the stream yet.
Hold up. I'm gonna do face cam too. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I get to see what your face looks like.
Yeah. Any updates yet? Okay, somehow my GTA 5 is not working. Alright. Come on. My thing is very laggy right now. I have to exit the game. On.
Yeah, so your video didn't show up yet. I still want to see back on 3.
That's weird. Because it says I'm live right now.
You know, let me turn off. Okay. Yeah, I'll turn off my and I'm going back on.
Train.
Go
Oh,
to this.
GTA is not working. It finally quit on me. Okay. I think.
Yeah, what is this?
I think cam is not really yeah, now turning off cam.
Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. I'm at your video.
I'm at my video. Alright, what do you... Yeah. Oh yeah, are you... Okay, am I talking in my video?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. I don't have to text. Okay, you think like, what are these on my... What are these on my thing? Let's do this. Alright?
Oh, you have a mod menu?
Okay, you think like, how am I gonna fly, right? Live. Wait, where's my other menu at?
How do you get mod menus?
Okay, somehow my menu is not really working.
Yeah, how do you even get a mod menu on Minecraft?
Wait, do you see this? Like, is it freaking out for you? Hold up, let me...
It's so laggy.
Hold up, let me just, sorry you see my screen, right?
Yeah, so it was super laggy, oh my god. That's why we moved.
I know. Oh, there it is, my menu. See that thing on the bottom? Like,
so how do you get the village?
this?
Yeah, how do you get the mod menu?
Oh, it's kinda easy. Oh yeah, let me show you what I can do. See, I'm in survival, right?
Yeah.
I can do this. Wait, hold on, I have not.
Wait, so you're on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. Okay, let me see. I can do face cam now. Alright. It's not that laggy anymore. Oh yeah, you know how I get the XP? The XP menu. I can do this all day. See, I can just do this. Get rid of remove. Well, I can't remove it. You know how I can remove it?
Oh yeah, I see your face.
Yeah. Hello. It's not respawning. There we go.
How old are you?
I'm 20. Okay, GTA 5 is not actually working, right? I have to, it's been a... Oh, my face is covering it. I have to remove my, face. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I saw your other streams. You had 2 channels, I think.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just... Okay, let's just go on YouTube, right? Wait, do you see me on YouTube, right?
Yeah, the diamond alien. Let's go.
Okay. I'm okay. You wanna watch something?
Yeah, watch something. Watch diamond alien. Yeah, diamond alien. Let's go.
Okay. Do you see the thing? Let her in.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, I'm gonna let you. Okay, I'm gonna do the video. Alright. Alright. Okay. Hey. Dude. Okay. Wait. Did you see where the thumbnail is? Okay. Don't tell him, right? Yo, dude. Go on my channel. I'm live streaming right now, right?
I know. I'm at
No, the other person.
Oh.
Yo, hey, Hamburger. Yo, Hamburger. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Are you gonna watch my video?
I think it's dead.
Alright. Okay, are you ready to watch this video, dude?
Yes, sir.
In 3, 2, 1.
Dude, so when I saw his face cam, it was a little lazy.
Yeah, I turned off my face cam.
Night 1. A hoof tapped against the window panes. It was 4 in the morning, and Fluttershy was standing outside of Apple Bloom's bedroom window. Fluttershy raised a hoof and tapped against the glass again. Apple Bloom pulled the covers over her head. She listened to the creaks and groans of the house settling. It would be dawn soon. The tapping started again. Night 2. Fluttershy was standing outside of the window again. Her eyes didn't look right, but Apple Bloom would have been at a loss if asked to describe how. The dark red stain across the left of Fluttershy's face contrasted harshly with her normally bright fur. She again tapped on the glass, again mouthing those 4 words.
It's cold out here.
It was not cold.
I'm sorry, I have to.
If anything, it was an unusually warm spring night. Apple Bloom pulled the covers up to her muzzle. A part of her wanted to open the window and let Fluttershy in. Yet there was that whisper at the back of her young mind.
No,
Some part of Apple Bloom's brain said.
do not open the window.
I don't have text.
So she merely sat there, staring into Fluttershy's slightly off eyes. Sleep seemed a remote possibility, but eventually it came. Apple Bloom dozed off just as the tapping
Are
stopped.
you watching her face?
What?
Night 3.
Did you saw that face?
That night, Apple Bloom dreamed of toys. Not merely toys in general, but familiar plush or wooden faces from her childhood. She saw the wooden dolls Granny Smith had given her. The hand-me-downs from Big Macintosh and Applejack were also
for?
Apple Bloom wondered. Apple Bloom decided a minute later it must be King Paws, her favorite teddy bear. She remembered loving him immensely when she was a foal. But why couldn't she find him? Surely he must be somewhere. Surely this relic of Apple Bloom's foalhood was not so easily buried. But King Paws hadn't been buried. Had he? He had gone missing. He had vanished from her life one spring night. And Apple Bloom had never been quite the same since. With this realization, Apple Bloom started to sob. This rush of emotion yanked her out of her dream. Fluttershy was standing outside the window again. Clutched in her mouth was a tattered, old teddy bear.
You're seeing her face?
Night 4. Apple Bloom slept in Applejack's bed that night. She made up some excuse about nightmares, horribly aware of how immature she sounded.
No, it's...
But her big sister was more than willing to switch bedrooms for the night. And of course, Apple Bloom could not tell her the real reason she was so distraught. Lying in bed, Apple Bloom started thinking about her foalhood for some reason. As she approached sleep.
You're not really good.
But those were not memories. Were they?
Look at...
Surely they were simply the remnants of past bad dreams. Applejack complained of a headache the next morning, but otherwise was none the worse for wear. Night 5. Apple Bloom was alone in the house. Her siblings and grandmother had left the premises, the former due to a last-minute order, and the latter due to some business with a distant relative. They would not be back until late the next day. Prior to bed, Apple Bloom locked all the doors and windows in the house. She made a bed for herself on the living room couch. And as one final precaution, Apple Bloom took an old garden hoe from the barn. She laid it next to her makeshift bed within Hoof's reach. It was raining outside. Apple Bloom listened to the raindrops splattering against the roof as she dozed off. Occasionally, she was convinced she heard something else. A footstep, a bang, a whisper.
It's gonna get more crazy.
No.
Wait, listen very closely.
More noises. They sounded as if they were coming from her bedroom. But that was impossible. The window was closed. But was it closed? Apple Bloom sat up, her heart pounding. She thought her locking down of the house had been thorough. But hadn't she intentionally avoided her bedroom, trusting the window to be even more noises, banging, and perhaps footsteps. And Apple Bloom was now certain they were coming from her room. She clutched the blanket, quivering. What was she going to do? Investigate? Flee? But what if it really was her imagination, and the window was firmly shut? If so, stepping out of the house might put her in more danger. Apple Bloom threw off the blanket and dropped to the floor. She had to know. Perhaps she was trotting to her own death. The house was silent, But Apple Bloom was not fooled.
Okay, I got someone.
She approached her bedroom with caution. A part of her expected the door to fly open and for some awful creature to pounce. But having a weapon of sorts made Apple Bloom feel brave. Brave enough to gently push the door open without hesitation. The window was open. The wind, now practically howling, was slapping sheets of rain and leaves into the room. Judging by the twigs it was not the cause of the scream that climbed halfway up her throat. She saw it within seconds. And once she did, Apple Bloom thanked Celestia she had not stepped into the room. Something was in Apple Bloom's bed. A pony-shaped lump was visible under the covers. It was moving, its chest rising and falling with every breath. Apple Bloom thought she smelled something rotting and dusty, like the pages of a very old book. For its breathing. Apple Bloom realized the creature did not seem to notice she was there. It did not stir as she stood frozen in the doorway, nor did the wind and rain seem to disturb it. Apple Bloom eventually left the room, quietly shutting the door behind her. She went back downstairs, slower this time, as not to make too much noise. Apple Bloom ended up spending the night in the barn. When her family returned and demanded an explanation, she made up some half-believable story about a bird found, save for the open window in her bedroom.
Why?
Apple Bloom returned to her bedroom after the search was complete. Other than a few dry leaves and the lingering smell of decay, there was no indication of anything having slept in her bed. However, Apple Bloom found that one of the dresses in her wardrobe was covered with dirt and what appeared to be a single bloody hoof print. Apple Bloom burned the dress in the fireplace later that day. Used to tear her eyes from the window. Fluttershy was watching her yet again. This time, she held a single piece of ripped cloth from her mouth. It was from the dress Apple Bloom had burnt. Apple Bloom had buried the remains of it in the yard. Apple Bloom thought of the eyes and the shadows that seemed to have haunted her early foalhood.
What do you think?
She was now convinced she had also heard scratching noises and perhaps tapping. But memories and nightmares had become interchangeable as of late. Apple Bloom was not wholly convinced they were not one and the same. The two set lines and trotted away.
Okay.
Apple Bloom did not get up from her bed.
We're gonna watch something really.
It was minutes before she at last gave in to slumber.
Nope, something more funnier.
Night 7.
Oh, we're getting close.
Applejack had found the remains of the dress and demanded to know why Apple Bloom was burning her clothes. She also asked Apple Bloom about her apparent sleeping troubles and her hostility towards Fluttershy.
The creepy part.
Apple Bloom confessed nothing. Perhaps to a relative's house. At least, Apple Bloom would be far away from this nightmare if that happened. but Applejack had not sent her
I
away.
think it's not
Apple Bloom was certain Applejack was consulting Big Macintosh over the matter. But for the time being, she was forced into another staring contest with Fluttershy, or whatever loathsome creature wore Fluttershy's face outside her window.
I think this is
Fluttershy pressed her hooves against the window. Her eyes seemed larger than they should have been.
0.8.
She appeared more Fluttershy mouthed those familiar words again.
It's cold out here.
Commentating.
Apple Bloom stuck her head underneath the covers. She did not hear Fluttershy tapping at the window, but that mournful face had taken over her thoughts.
Oh yeah. The one.
Night 8. Apple Bloom thought she might have been sleepwalking the previous night, for she had not awakened in her bed,
Dude.
but
One thing,
curled up in
I
front
had
of
a
the
really
closed
great-
window.
You know, I did.
Apple Bloom was terrified.
He's like 2.
She again did not sleep.
I give
Her
him
eyes
2 or
focused
3.
on the creature outside her window. Fluttershy returned
Yeah,
Apple
after
Bloom's
he
stare,
becomes
smiling
Digimon 8,
and licking her
I'm giving him
lips.
Ready.
Night 9.
Oh.
Earlier, Apple Bloom had overheard her older siblings talking about doctors.
Dude.
She was aware they planned to send her to
Not
one.
right now. Well, not right now.
Whatever her siblings planned to do, Apple Bloom was confident her troubles would end soon enough. He did so. Her family had dozed off a little while ago. Confident she was the only sleepless soul in the house, Apple Bloom left her bedroom and went downstairs. In the kitchen, Apple Bloom procured an old gas lamp. She also took the sharpest kitchen knife she could find from the drawer, far more useful than the garden hoe she'd chosen last time. But in this case, the purpose was not mere defense.
Look at her face.
Apple Bloom waited until darkness had truly fallen.
That.
Then she
that
crept back to
Look at that.
inch by inch,
Will you
careful
let
to
her in?
minimize any noise she made.
Will you let her in? I will.
The creature was again lying in Apple Bloom's bed, the outline of its form underneath the covers.
Look at her
Apple
eyes.
Bloom placed the gas lamp on the floor.
Crazy.
She froze as it touched the floorboards with the slightest thump. But she saw no evidence of the creature awakening at the sound. Apple Bloom held back a sigh of relief. Apple Bloom waited. She was shaking, but she refused to hesitate in this moment of action.
Oh yeah. It
Apple
does
Bloom
look
reached the
that-
side of the bed and gently pressed both hooves against it.
Right?
She eased herself up, carefully pulling herself onto the bed next to the creature. And then the creature moved. It was only a slight shift, as it was trying to get comfortable. But it was enough to completely destroy Apple Bloom's nerve. Apple Bloom dropped the knife, a squeak of terror flying out of her mouth. She pressed both hooves against her mouth, but it was far too late.
Here.
Only could have managed. The creature gave a long growl, its body appearing to convulse as it threw the covers from it.
It looks like
Apple Bloom screamed, leaping from the bed. The creature leaped from the bed as well, moving in a way similar to a spider. It still resembled Fluttershy, but its neck was bent at an unnatural angle as if broken, bent to one side and upside down. It regarded Apple Bloom with its upside-down grin, a grin extending far past what should have been possible. Its tongue hung limply from one side of its mouth, like that of an excited dog. It was panting and eager. Breathlessly. But Apple Bloom could only whimper, pointing a hoof at the creature that now stood in silent triumph near the window. Applejack's eyes widened with bemusement and horror.
What in darnation?
The creature moved its neck again, adjusting its head to a more normal position. Its face no longer even vaguely resembled Fluttershy. Instead, it had morphed into some twisted mockery of the shy pony's face. The mouth stretched even farther, the pupils smaller than pinpricks. It was breathing heavily, a tongue at least a foot long hanging from its gaping maw. It now became a more accurate representation of Fluttershy. The flames started to engulf it immediately. A scent not unlike that of sulfur rose as patches of its fur hastily burned away. The creature objected loudly, alternating between screams eerily similar to those of Fluttershy and deep screeches not unlike that of a tortured bird. The fur and flesh burned away at an unnatural rate, the screams and screeches continuing long after they should have ended. The last to surrender to Inferno was the light pink mane. After a few moments, all that remained was a charred skeleton. Did not speak to each other. Neither spoke a word of the incident. Even after Applejack had buried the
I
body.
can tell you what happened, right? Like, they buried the skull. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, tell me what it is.
I hear this.
Yeah.
Fluffles. It's funny, right? That's for your sister. Where she's singing. Oh, there goes that pop tart. I like that. Do you see that? Do you see those commercials? Like, oh yeah, here's the funny one. funny?
Kind of.
Okay. Okay, let me,
That's slick. Are they having a flight attack? What the flick?
okay, here's a funny one.
This is a robbery.
I'm about to die.
Alright. You know what?
Hey,
We'll watch some, videos I used to watch, right? Come on. There we go. Here. Here. Yeah. Hi. It's looping. Here. Yeah. Hi. It's looping. It's looping. It's looping. It was looping. Do you saw that?